Have you ever imagined that a simple exercise, one you can do inside your own home without needing equipment or a gym, could be the turning point for your physical health after the age of 60? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. But this isn't just any exercise. I'm talking about a smart, safe, powerful, and adaptable movement that has the potential to transform your strength, balance, and confidence in your body. Even if you're just starting now, even if you've gone years without exercising, even if you think you're too old for this, I want you to stay with me until the end, because what you're gonna learn here could completely change the way you live your days. This isn't an exaggeration, it's an invitation to vitality, to independence, and to rediscover your strength, which is still inside you, even if it feels like it's been dormant. With the right movements, you can reactivate all of that. The exercise I'm talking about is the sumo squat, and before you think, squats? I can't even bend my knees much. Hold on, I'm going to show you how this exercise can, and should, be done in an adapted way, respecting your limits, without pain, without risk, and still delivering real, visible, and noticeable results in your daily life. It doesn't matter how old you are, what your history with physical activity is, or your current fitness level. What matters is that with consistency, awareness, and proper technique, your body will respond. It always does. Now, for you to understand why this specific squat is so valuable, we need to quickly talk about what happens to our bodies as the years go by. Starting at age 30, that's right, way before we even notice, we begin to lose muscle mass slowly and continuously. This loss speeds up as we age, and after 60, it becomes much more noticeable. We have less strength, our legs tire more quickly, balance decreases, and even simple tasks like getting up from a chair, climbing stairs, or walking for a long time can become a struggle. This condition has a name, sarcopenia, and the most dangerous part about it is that it doesn't happen suddenly. It creeps in slowly and silently. One day you realize it's harder to get up. Another day, you notice you've lost stability while walking. Then suddenly a fall happens, and with it comes fear, insecurity, and in many cases, withdrawal from activities that once felt normal. But I'm here to remind you, it doesn't have to be that way. Age-related muscle loss is real, but it's not inevitable. You can regain strength, improve your balance, prevent falls, and regain more stability in your movements. And all of that can start with just one exercise. Simple, effective, and adaptable. The sumo squat is a type of squat that has been adjusted specifically to make it easier to perform and to protect the joints, especially the knees and hips. The difference between it and a traditional squat lies in the position of the feet. Instead of keeping your feet aligned with your shoulders and pointing straight ahead like in a regular squat, here you'll spread your legs wider and turn your feet slightly outward, forming a V shape. This simple adjustment changes everything. When you spread your legs wider, your center of gravity becomes more stable, and with your feet turned outward, you activate muscles that are not usually engaged, like the adductors, which are located on the inner thighs. These muscles are extremely important for balance and lateral stability. This position also helps reduce pressure on the knees, making the movement more comfortable and less risky, especially if you have any sensitivity or a history of pain in that area. In addition, this posture deeply activates the glutes, which are essential for supporting the lower back and for nearly all everyday movements, from getting up from a chair to walking safely. But let's go beyond technique. I want to talk to you about something deeper. What does it really mean to regain strength at 60, 70, or 80 years old? It means more than just muscles. It means autonomy. It means being able to climb stairs without the fear of slipping. It means being able to get out of bed without pain. It means being able to take care of yourself, your home, go out for a walk, play with your grandchildren, or carry a shopping bag without worry. Strength keeps us alive, steady, and active. And it is absolutely possible at any age. With just a few minutes a day, with mindful movements, and with the right exercise, you can achieve this. The beauty of the sumo squat lies in the fact that anyone can start, and you don't have to do it all at once. If you've been inactive for a long time, if you feel limited, that's okay. You can adapt. You can do the movement with the help of a chair, sitting down and standing up slowly. You can support your hands on a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture for better balance. You can start with shallow depth, just slightly bending your knees, and that alone will activate your muscles. It will already begin to change your physical reality. What matters is doing it with attention, regularly, and with respect for your body. Now that you understand why the sumo squat is so important and how it can be a powerful ally in your daily life, it's time to put that knowledge into practice. First of all, I want to emphasize that we're not aiming for perfection or performance here. Our focus is consistency, awareness, and real progress. Even if it's slow, even if you're starting small, what matters is beginning with what you have today and improving from there, respecting your own pace. The first thing you need to pay attention to is your posture. Correct posture is the foundation of any safe and effective movement. So let's go to step 1, the starting position. Begin by standing with your feet wider than shoulder width apart. That's right, wider than you're used to. That's what will give you the stable base for the sumo squat. Your feet should not be pointing straight forward. They should be turned slightly outward, forming an angle of about 45 degrees. This is essential. By turning your feet slightly outward, you shift the activation axis of the leg muscles and engage the adductors, which are located on the inner thighs. They're very important for maintaining balance and are often overlooked. With your feet properly positioned, distribute your body weight evenly between both legs. Feel your feet firmly planted on the ground. Your weight should be more on your heels than on the balls of your feet. This will help you maintain balance throughout the movement and will also help protect your knees. When you shift your weight forward onto your toes, you overload the joints and reduce glute activation, so pay extra attention to this point. With your feet firm and well positioned, let's move on to step 2, the torso posture. Keep your spine straight, your chest slightly lifted, and your shoulders relaxed, rolled back and down. Don't hunch forward. If you lean your torso too much, not only do you reduce the effectiveness of the exercise, but you also risk overloading your lower back. Imagine there's a string pulling the top of your head toward the ceiling. Now, that's the sensation you want to maintain throughout the entire movement. Your head should be aligned with your spine, looking forward, not down. This helps maintain posture stability. And remember, your core plays a role too. Gently contract your abdominal muscles to support your torso. You don't need to brace as if you're about to take a punch. Just keep a light and steady activation, like you're trying to hold your belly in slightly. This core engagement is what will protect your lower back and make the movement safer and more controlled. Now let's move on to step 3, the start of the movement, the descent. With everything aligned, begin slowly bending your knees while simultaneously pushing your hips back. Imagine there's a chair behind you and you're trying to sit down on it without losing your balance. This mental image is very helpful because it helps you understand that the movement begins with the hips, not the knees. Many people, when starting to squat, bend their knees first as if they're dropping straight down. That's dangerous. Ideally, you should think about sending your hips back first, and naturally your knees will bend along with them, but without going past your toes. As you go down, pay attention to the direction of your knees. They should follow the same line as your toes. Don't let them collapse inward. This is a common mistake that can lead to pain or even injury over time. If you notice your knees falling inward, reduce the depth of your squat, adjust your foot position, and activate your leg muscles more. Go only as low as your body allows without pain. Ideally, over time, your thighs should be parallel to the ground, but if that's still too difficult, that's okay. The important thing is to go down as much as you can safely and with control without forcing it. As your strength and mobility improve, you'll be able to go lower. Now comes step 4, the ascent, returning to the starting position. This moment also requires attention. Start rising by pushing the ground with your heels. It's exactly this action that activates the glutes and the muscles in the back of your legs. As you rise, keep your torso steady, your spine upright, and your abdomen lightly engaged. When you're almost at the top, consciously activate your glutes by squeezing them with intention. This helps finish the movement with more strength and stability. One very important detail: when you return to a standing position, do not lock your knees. Keep a slight bend in them. Don't straighten completely. That small bend will keep your muscles engaged and protect your joints. Locking your knees can increase impact and reduce control of the movement, so always maintain a slight tension in your legs, even at the top of the exercise. And now step 5, rhythm and repetitions. This part is essential for the exercise to be both effective and safe. Do between 10 to 15 repetitions per set, depending on your fitness level. If you're just starting out, do 8 slowly and gradually increase over time. The pace should be controlled and intentional. The descent can take around 3 seconds, very slowly, and the ascent a bit quicker but still smooth in about 2 seconds. This controlled tempo not only activates the muscles more but also helps improve balance and stability. Avoid quicker jerky movements. Rushing is the enemy of good form. The important thing is to maintain proper technique at all times. By doing this sequence regularly, even just 2 or 3 times a week, you'll notice a significant improvement improvement in leg strength, glute tone, posture, and walking confidence. And the best part, all of this without needing to leave your house, without impact, and with an exercise that respects your body. At first it may feel challenging, you might feel a bit unsteady or unsure, that's normal, but over time, as your body adapts and gains strength, you'll find that the movement that once felt difficult begins to flow more naturally. And that's where the magic is, in the steady, quiet, and solid progress you achieve through consistency. Now that you've learned the step-by-step of the sumo squat and understood how it can be adapted to your pace, it's important to know that even in an exercise that seems simple, there are common mistakes that can compromise your results and even cause discomfort or injury over time. The goal here isn't to point out flaws, but to help you recognize and adjust small details that make all the difference in practice. After all, what makes an exercise effective isn't the number of repetitions or intensity, it's the quality of the execution. So let's go together and identify the main mistakes and understand how to correct them in a practical and gentle way for your body. One of the most common mistakes is incorrect foot placement. Many people end up keeping their feet too close together, almost in line with the hips, or with the toes pointing straight ahead, like in a traditional squat. But the sumo squat requires a wider stance and feet turned outward, as you've already learned. If your feet are poorly positioned, your body can't properly activate the adductors or glutes, and this increases pressure on the knees. The fix is simple. Open your feet wider than shoulder width and slightly turn your toes outward, about 45 degrees. It might feel strange at first, but soon you'll notice how much more stability and comfort this position brings. Another very common mistake is the knees collapsing inward during the descent. This often happens in people with weaker lateral hip muscles or adductors. When the knees point inward, it not only misaligns the joint, but also increases the risk of injury. That's why it's essential to pay attention to this point. Throughout the movement, your knees should follow the same direction as your toes. If you notice that they're falling inward, try to adjust your body awareness and, if necessary, reduce the squat depth until you gain more control. A helpful tip is to imagine you're trying to open a resistance band with your knees, gently pushing them outward. This helps maintain proper alignment. The third mistake is leaning the torso too far forward. This is something many people do without realizing it, especially during the descent when trying to go deeper without having proper hip mobility. When you lean your body forward, you shift the load from the leg muscles to the lower back, which can cause pain and even strain. The solution lies in posture. Keep your chest lifted, your back straight, and your abs slightly engaged throughout the movement. A helpful mental trick is to imagine you're balancing a full glass of water on your chest, and you don't want it to spill. That forces you to keep your posture more upright and controlled. Another important mistake is not keeping the weight on your heels. Many people, especially in the beginning, end up shifting their weight onto the balls of their feet, which makes the movement unstable and reduces glute activation. Every time you do a sumo squat, think about pushing the ground with your heels, as if you were trying to press them into the floor. You can even try a little test. Slightly lift your toes during the descent just to make sure your weight is truly on your heels. This more efficiently activates the posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings, and lower back, and protects your knees. Another mistake worth mentioning is rising too quickly or locking your knees at the top of the movement. Many people rush the ascent, almost jumping upward, which is not only less effective, but also increases the risk of joint impact, and locking the knees at the top of the movement takes the tension off the muscles and shifts it to the joint, which can be dangerous, especially over time. The ideal is to perform the upward movement in a controlled way, pushing slowly through the heels, feeling your glutes contract and keeping your knees slightly bent at the top. This keeps your muscles engaged and your joints protected. Finally, a subtle but very common mistake is not going down far enough. Many people, out of fear or lack of strength, end up doing only a half squat, which greatly reduces the activation of the main muscles. Of course, in the beginning, if you have limitations, you can and should start with less depth. But over time, the goal is to go down until your thighs are parallel to the floor, or even a bit lower if you have the mobility and comfort for it. The key is to progress gradually, without forcing it, but also without stalling. When you squat deeper, you better activate your glutes, quadriceps, and adductors, making the exercise more complete and effective. Avoiding these mistakes is essential to ensure that the sumo squat squat works as it should, strengthening, stabilizing, and protecting your body, and more than that, correcting your technique gives you more confidence. You feel like you're in control of the movement, that you're doing it right, that you're making progress, and that sense of progress is one of the most important things for staying motivated over the long term. Don't pressure yourself to be perfect. What matters is paying attention, adjusting when needed, and continuing to practice regularly. Your body will learn, it will adapt, it will respond, and the results will begin to show, not just in your muscles, but also in your posture, the way you walk, get up, and feel in your own body. If you've made it this far, congratulations. That shows you're truly committed to your health, your quality of life, and your well-being. Just the fact that you've taken this time to learn something new and take care of yourself is already a huge step in the right direction. And now that you know the benefits of the sumo squat, how it works, how to do it safely, and what mistakes to avoid, it's time to put it all into practice. Remember, it doesn't matter where you're starting from, what matters is starting. Your body has an amazing capacity to adapt and get stronger, even as the years go by. Each repetition, no matter how small, is an investment in your future, your mobility, your freedom, and your independence. So now it's up to you. Try it. Go at your own pace, observe your body, and keep progressing with ease and consistency. And before you go, I want to ask you for a very special favor. If this content helped you in any way, if you learned something new or felt motivated to take better care of yourself, please leave a like on this video. It shows me that this kind of content is making a difference and encourages me to keep producing more videos like this one. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because here we talk a lot about health, mobility, adapted exercises, strength, and quality of life for those over 60, 70, 80, and it's because it's never too late to start taking care of yourself. And take a moment to comment below where you're watching from. I love to know where the people following this work are from. It could be from all over Brazil or even from abroad. Also, tell me how you felt when trying the sumo squat, or if you had any questions. I read all the comments with care and reply whenever I can. Let's create a community here of people who want to age with health, independence, and joy. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Take good care of yourself. You deserve it.